Hello, this is Daniel Mart, and this week we're going to be talking about how to actually submit for a casting call. Now, part of the reason why I want to do this video is because I actually am going to be directing a film soon, and we are doing a casting call. So if you guys are in the Miami area and you guys wish to submit, here's the information. Definitely do submit, and we'll go from there essentially, with the auditions. But yeah, now that we're getting emails, we've been getting emails for the past day or two in regards to this. We've seen how some of these emails are written, and we've kind of already said, oh, I don't know about this person based on how they emailed us or what they emailed us. And it's something that I started thinking about some of the other casting calls I've done in the past for the dates and corner for some examples. And I kind of just started remembering how some of the emails that we received at that time were very, to put it bluntly, unprofessional. And that's one of those things that a lot of casting directors, a lot of producers, a lot of directors look at. Again, first impressions are important, and one of the things that makes or breaks that first impression is how you email the casting director, producer, director, etc., etc., etc. So basically, so you guys don't get blown off right off the bat just because of how you emailed someone, I basically want to show you guys how to email a potential casting director, producer, etc., so you guys can be considered for at least auditioning for the role. Again, if you guys want, very fast before I move on, if you guys want to audition, here's the information. And actually, let's stick on the information very fast. So let's say I'm going to submit to Captive. Let's say me, Daniel. I know this is my own production, but just for the sake of the video, let's look at all the information here. Now you'll see that the last date to submit for it is on the 25th, August 25th. Okay, right now it's currently the 17th, and then you look at the characters and which characters best suit your role. And for me, I'm 24, so I'm basically in my mid 20s, and you have Vincent, who's late 20s to early 30s. Sam, who's 6 to 10. I can't do that role, obviously. You have the reporter, Casey Lowry, who's at least 20 years old, and the officers who are also at least 20 years old. And then I see what they want. If interested, please send your real resume and or headshots to, and then these are the two emails. Now, I know that here on this casting call, it has the two emails, both my email, DMAR Productions, and the email for the other producer, McPree Productions, Alejo Vegas. Just for the sake of this video, I'm only going to be using my own email. I'm not going to submit it to McPree, just in case I accidentally, or maybe on purpose, we'll see. But in case I end up sending the email, actually, I don't want to bother him with a fake casting call response. So just for the sake of this, I'm only going to be using my email. But if you have to email multiple people in the actual casting, when you're actually responding, actually do email every single email that's provided. Now I'm looking at this casting call, and I'm looking at the role of Vincent. I know I'm in my mid 20s, but late 20s, maybe I could push it. I'm going to go for the role of Vincent, and I'm also going to go for the role of the reporter, Casey Lowry. So we'll go from there. So first thing you want to do is open up your email. Now, usually what I do is I leave the actual email, like this section, to the end, because I don't want to accidentally send it with incomplete information. Let's say I'm working on the email, and I send it by accident. Oh crap! Now that's an incomplete email. So that's why I usually leave the actual email towards the end. Now, for the subject line, I personally like to do it all in caps, capitalized letters, because it's just something that draws me. It's something that I found that, in general, just whenever I email somebody, I tend to get more of a response if the subject line is all capitalized than if it's, just regular spelling. But that's, if you guys want to do that, go ahead. But if not, that's a personal choice at that point. But usually what I do for the subject line, I put the name of the film, casting call, and then I put my name for Vincent and reporter Casey Lowry. So that's usually what I do, just for the subject line. And it's a pretty clean subject line. You have the name of the film, the fact that it's a casting call, your name, and then what roles you're interested in. So that's pretty good way to start the casting call response. And from there, hello, my name is misspelled anime. My anime is Daniel Mart. That's pretty funny. My name is Daniel Mart, and I am interested in auditioning for your upcoming project, Captive. So that's usually what I do just for a first line. Say who I am, state the fact that I'm interested in the project, the name of the project as well, and this very specifically the fact that I'm interested in auditioning. Auditioning. This may seem kind of a trivial thing to point out, but it's something that's very important, and it's something that not only I'm not sure if bother is the right word. It's more of a pet peeve, but it also depends on who responds to the casting call. But it's something that I've discussed with other directors, and it's just kind of astounding how often a person will respond to a casting call, not realizing that's responding for an audition. I know this happened for me, especially on a date, where I had like several actors email me thinking that they got the part because it was a first come first served basis type of thing, and I'm like, no, I don't know where you got that idea. You have to audition for the part. Some of them did, some of them didn't. Some of them ended up cursing me out because they thought they got the parts and I was being rude by not giving them the parts, even though I told them, no, you have to audition. What the hell? But that's besides the point. So yeah, always state the fact that your intention is to audition for the part. It shows that you're willing to work for the part. It's not the end of the world if you don't add the parts that the audition parts. It's not the end of the world, but it's just a nice thing to add. And again, that's just not my opinion. That's some of the other filmmakers I've talked to. It shows that again, you are motivated to do whatever it takes to get this part, so to speak. Something I also tend to do, not often, I'll be honest, this is not something I tend to do often, and that's actually, I state where I found the casting call. I found the casting call for your project on Instagram. So yeah, and now the reason I don't usually do that is because a lot of the things I've found when it comes to casting calls is usually over Facebook. So usually on Facebook, I state the fact that, hey, I sent you an email, and we usually continue the conversations from there. But I usually just comment on their post, hey, I sent you an email. Now in this case, you could add, hey, I sent you an email. So I could do that here and just post that as well and go from there. And I'm gonna delete it because it's gonna be very weird if it's me. But yeah, so you could do that as well. But this is one of those things. It kind of depends on where you get the email, and it's something I do 50-50. I used to do a lot very early on when I was submitting, not as much anymore. But it's just a nice thing to add there as well. But that's up to you. And from there, you also want to state which characters you are interested in. I know you have it here on the subject line, but it's always good to reiterate that in the actual email itself. So your next line, your next sentence should be, I am interested in auditioning for the roles of Vincent and reporter Casey Lowry. And again, you hit that keyword auditioning. You're willing to audition. You want to audition. You're not. There's a chance you're not gonna get the parts. Now another thing, and it doesn't apply to this one, but it could apply to other casting calls, and that's if the character requires a certain set of skills. So let's say for Vincent, you need to learn how to play the guitar. You should add that in your email. Furthermore, I know how to play the guitar, which is required for the role of Vincent. Again, this doesn't apply for this casting call, but if that is something that comes up in other casting calls that you see, casting notices that you see that this character needs to know how to roller skate, play the guitar, skydive, whatever, you should definitely add that in there just so that you could be further considered for the part. And then usually I like to end the email with this: hope to hear from you soon, and then my name, Daniel Mart. So that's basically it. We should submit it. Of course, add the email and go from there. And time to submit. Wait. No, move your mouse. Do not send yet. Delete this for a very, very fast second. We are missing some stuff. First off, again, if interested, send your real resume and or headshots to the emails. So we don't have that. I don't see headshots. I don't see reels. I don't see resumes. Where the hell are they? That's what we're adding. And you really should add this. And I understand if you're just starting off, you may not have all of this. That's why for me personally, I say if you submit at least one of them, it's good. But as you get along in your acting journey, you should have all three after a while, and you should submit all three to any casting directors. I'm going to start off with the reel first, and here I just have it here. I'm going to copy the link and drop it here. Acting Real. Now, if you have Dropbox, add the Dropbox link. If you have video actually on file, upload the file here, and hopefully it's not too big. Sometimes you can't send it because they're too big. However you send your acting reel, make sure it's attached somewhere. And then furthermore, I always like adding my IMDb page. It's something I've always done, to be honest. If I could just copy the link. There we go. It's something I've always done, and it's something that people have always commented on, the fact that, oh, I like the fact that you sent in your IMDb page. It sets you apart from the rest of the other people who are submitting. Because yes, you're going to be submitting your resume, and you do have your reel there, but IMDb is just a so much more further encompassing resume that it shows everything you've worked on. You know what I mean? So sometimes we'll look at a film. So I'm going to use this again, me as an example. I'm like, oh, Hard Christmas. You worked on that with Alejo. Alejo, I know Alejo because I worked with him on Wise Guys versus Aliens, for example. So, you already have that connection. You have some of those talking points so you can further connect with the casting director, the producer, whoever. That helps in networking and building that relationship between you and the other individual you're responding to, especially once you actually get to the audition. If it's a Zoom audition or an in-person audition, because usually those type of auditions tend to have a few moments where you get to ask each other questions, whether it be about the role or about just each other, and you could bring that up, or they could bring that up, better said. And I usually do tend to bring up prior work that people have worked on. So, and again, adding that IMDb page it helps so much more, and again, sets you up apart from everybody else, because again, that's something that not many people even think about doing. Now I think about it, I don't think I've ever had anybody attach their IMDb page to their email. It appears sometimes on their resumes, but to the actual email itself, I don't think I'd have to look back, but it's nothing that I've ever recalled that's ever been on the email. And now we add the files. So first off, I'm going to add the resume. And for this, make sure it's on PDF. If it's on Word, that's fine. But again, PDF just gives you that extra boost of professionalism of, hey, I'm actually taking this seriously. Make sure you have your resume on PDF. And, there's a bunch of websites where you could convert a Word document to a PDF document. It's very easy. It will take you no more than a minute to do. So just do it. It's nothing too hard to do anyways. And then from there, you want to add your pictures. And I recommend you add both headshots and body shots, or full body shots. Now, if you just submit the headshots, that's fine. That's cool. There's not really an issue right there. But again, it just shows how professional you are in actually crafting your email, so to speak. Because not only are you giving the provided material, you're giving actually more material than is necessary. So again, with the IMDb page, the extra photos, and also with the full body shots especially, they get to see how you look in your entirety. They get a better idea of who you are in general. So it helps out with them seeing who you are as an actor. All this. And yeah, that's basically it. After that, you just put in the emails that you need to email. Again, in this case, I'm not going to put McPree because I don't want to give him a false, casting call notice response. But, just for this. And after that, you make sure everything's good. Make sure everything's spelled properly. Make sure all the details are there. And from there, you send. And that is it. That is how you should respond to a casting call. So yeah, I hope this has been very helpful for you. And, again, the main point for all this is to appear as professional as possible. Again, first impressions are make it or break it. Anything could make it, but at the same time, anything could break it. Don't let your email be the thing that breaks it, that prevents you from getting a role. Directors, producers, casting directors, we judge on every little thing. Trust me. Like I said, don't have your email be the reason you don't get the role, or why you're not even considered for the role in the first place. So yeah, that's basically it for now. Again, hopefully this has been very helpful for y'all, and that's basically it for now. This is Daniel Mart signing off.